Travis Deere graduated from Sikeston High School in 2002 in the top 5% of his class and was a two-sport athlete in football and baseball. After high school, Travis attended the University of Missouri on a Bright Flight scholarship, majoring in biochemistry. He then attended the University of Tennessee Memphis School of Pharmacy before returning to complete his degree at Southeast Missouri State University. While completing his degree, he was hired by Major Brands premium beverage distributors. Deciding to continue down this career path after graduation, Travis became an integral part of the Major Brands Cape Girardeau office. He worked his way up from merchandiser to territory sales rep to sales manager. He now leads operations of the Major Brands Cape Girardeau warehouse and the sales team of 6 sales representatives, 6 merchandisers, and 3 delivery drivers that cover 14,000 square miles of Southeast Missouri, while bringing in $17 million in revenue annually. Even though Travis is most proud of his family, he is very passionate about his career and his achievements as a Sikeston JC and citizen of Sikeston. Travis currently sits on the Missouri Delta Medical Center Foundation Board as a trustee, where he assists, advances, and strengthens Missouri Delta Medical Center in its mission of healing and health and humanitarian endeavors. Annually, the foundation gives around $400,000 to the medical center. Travis helps to oversee all gifts made for the support of the medical center, including new facilities, equipment purchases, new medical programs, and education. In 2013, Travis became the chairman of the first annual Sikeston JC Oktoberfest, where he spearheaded the creation of a brand new event to raise funds for donation to charitable causes. In 2014, Travis sat on the Kenny Rogers Children's Center Board representing the Sikeston JCs. In 2015, Travis sat on the Sikeston Regional Chamber of Commerce Board representing the Sikeston JCs. Travis has also sat on multiple planning committees for historic downtown Sikeston. Here he was able to use the experience he gained in his professional career to help improve historic downtown Sikeston events and generate greater revenue for the organization to put back into Sikeston historical landmarks. During his terms as club president and Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo general chairman, the Sikeston JCs donated over $300,000 to charitable organizations and causes in those 2 years alone. Each of those years also had successful rodeos and club projects, including the Crawfish Boil, Little League Football, and Oktoberfest, that gave him the ability to donate such a large amount back into the community. Travis also oversaw the setup and teardown of the Kenny Rogers Children's Center Telethon and led a phone panel team during his club president year. This event raises over $100,000 annually for the center. Travis was also an important part of the Sikeston JC Little League football program for 6 years. This program is vital for the children of Sikeston and the surrounding communities, as the JC Youth Football League provides all the necessary equipment needed to play the game at a third of the cost of other area leagues. The JCs also forego sign-up fees for any children that can't afford them. Over his 6-year involvement, Travis was an assistant or head coach. As head coach, he led the team to 2 league championships. What he is most proud of, however, was the opportunity he was given to work with children with disadvantaged or troubled backgrounds and to provide them with positive encouragement and guidance. In 2012, Travis was awarded JC of the Fourth Quarter by the Sikeston JCs for his volunteer work during their Little League football program and numerous fundraising events. In 2014, he was awarded Executive Board Officer of the Year for his work on the Sikeston JC Executive Board. In 2020, Travis was awarded a Certificate of Appreciation for Outstanding Performance by the 1140th Engineers Battalion of the Army National Guard for his patriotic contributions during the 2020 Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo. In his professional career, Travis was awarded Salesperson of the Quarter 6 times in the 4 years he worked in a sales representative role, before accepting a management position. In 2020, Travis was awarded the Major Brands Spirit Award for Community, given to Major Brands employees in the state of Missouri that have made a major impact in the communities they live and work in. We all know the JCs are an organization that helps build young leaders, and Travis has always said that if not for the confidence and team-building skills he acquired through his involvement with the JCs, he would not be where he is now professionally. Many Sikeston JCs have said over the years, "This organization has done far more for me than I can ever hope to give back." Travis truly believes this, and he's compelled to continue his involvement with the JC organization. Travis assumed the role of General Chairman of the Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo in August of 2019. At that time, there was no way to know of the immense difficulties and challenges that our world would face in 2020. While the world was shutting down, Travis was faced with a difficult decision: budget and plan for a $1.2 million rodeo in the face of a global pandemic, or cancel the Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo, an event that had been held for 67 consecutive years. Considering the economic impact on the surrounding community, $1.4 million from total rodeo spending, and $1.5 to $3 million in spectator spending. The multiple local organizations who rely on donations from the rodeo and the historical significance of the event, Travis decided to move forward with it. He was mindful, however, that the drastic changes would need to be made to the operations of the rodeo to responsibly hold the event while keeping spectator and community safety paramount. Working with the rodeo board of directors, Travis generated a 15-page plan of action outlining the measures and policies the rodeo would be implementing to keep our spectators and community safe. He reworked his budget to allow for reduced capacity and social distancing, implemented protective measures at all points of spectator interaction, required mask wearing of all JC volunteers, provided masks for spectators, installed event-wide hand-washing stations, and contracted sanitation specialists to disinfect areas prone to high traffic. He also worked with the PRCA to install wellness checkpoints for contestants. Travis was also proactive and inclusive in the implementation of his plan of action, speaking and meeting regularly with the Missouri Governor's Office and the Scott County Health Department to inform them of the plan and to obtain feedback. Missouri Governor Jim Parson attempted the 2020 rodeo to show his support for the event. In a year that saw well over 50% of PRCA rodeos nationwide shut down, the 2020 Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo was able to safely provide 4 nights of top PRCA rodeo action and musical entertainment to over 30,000 spectators. They donated $125,000 to community organizations that were struggling for vital operational funds during a challenging year. Without Travis's leadership, commitment, and financial responsibility, this would not have been possible. Mr. Deere has been a devoted and steadfast JC over the decade of his membership. During his time as a member, he has been a coach of JC Little League football for 6 years, secretary of the Sikeston JC Executive Board, Sikeston JC Oktoberfest chairman, individual development vice president of the Executive Board, president of the Executive Board, member of the Rodeo Board of Directors, Rodeo Advertising and Publicity Chairman, Rodeo Sponsors Chairman, Rodeo Cattle Barons Chairman, Rodeo Board of Directors President, General Co-Chairman of the Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo, and was the General Chairman of the Sikeston JC Boot Heel Rodeo in 2020. During this time, he also helped in a large capacity with financials, planning, and setup for events such as the Sikeston JC Crawfish Boil, Kenny Rogers Children's Center Telethon, and partnering with local law enforcement for Christmas basket campaigns for underprivileged families. Mr. Deere was faced with the most difficult decision in the JC Boot Heel Rodeo's 67-year history. The rodeo generates millions of dollars for our community, a community that was struggling due to the global pandemic more than ever before. Travis led a movement to be the only event that refused to close its doors primarily because of its effect on our community if it canceled. With the support of local government, health organizations, and even the Missouri governor, his plan worked. It revitalized our town, if only for a short week in August, and provided area organizations with the funding necessary, in some cases, to keep their doors open. He was able to mitigate the risk and maximize its return the same way the rodeo has over its existence, all while keeping our patrons, volunteers, and stakeholders safe in the process. His service to this town during its biggest need exemplifies the JC Creed and all that it stands for. Additionally, Travis did all of this while raising 3 children with his wife, Taylor, and leading a demanding profession in the process. His volunteerism and dedication to the Sikeston JCs has set an example for his 3 young boys as they grow to become like-minded and valuable members of our great community. Ladies and gentlemen, outstanding young Missourian, Travis Deere.